Okay, so you want to build a game with Flutter Flow. I get it. I get it because last week our discovery team took over 50 calls with builders all around the world, and apparently 18 of them said that they want to build a game in Flutter Flow. So our discovery team comes to me and says, "Hey Alim, can we build games in Flutter Flow? And is our support team inside the accelerator ready to commit to building a game?" And here's what I said. Yes, yes, and no. There's no one specific type of game. Games can take many shapes and forms, and when you think about a game, you don't just have to think about the same type of game that you're playing on Xbox or PC or PlayStation. There are so many types of games out there, so I can't give one specific answer. But in this video, I'm going to tell you about all the different types of games that you can absolutely build with Flutter Flow, and I'm also going to steer you away from Flutter Flow by telling you the games that you absolutely should not be building using the Ambitious Labs no-code tech stack, which is Flutter Flow, BuildShip, Firebase, and RevenueCat. This is our tech stack that we are championing and teaching builders who don't know how to code how they can launch highly scalable app startups using this exact tech stack. Cool, so without further ado, let's get cracking. All right, so the first type of game that is perfect for Flutter Flow is learning games. Learning games are an extremely hot business idea. The edtech market is growing like wildfire as more and more people look to adopt technology for learning. The biggest player in the mobile app learning space is absolutely Duolingo. According to my app figures analysis here, Duolingo did $33 million in revenue last year, and its app is perfect for people who want to learn a new language. Duolingo's app is all two-dimensional, and it absolutely could be built in Flutter Flow. And since Flutter Flow integrates really well with Firebase, it's great for unstructured blobs and objects of data. And when you're building a learning game, you might have a lot of unstructured objects like content, lessons, assignments, badges, and much more, which makes Flutter Flow a perfect option for learning games. Headway is also a leader in the mobile learning space. They did an estimated $6 million of revenue just in January, and this is an app for you to scroll through books really quickly and consume a lot of content in a short period of time. This also takes form in 2D. You don't have to have any 3D rendering, and it's also very content driven. They did a great job with gamification because people can actually challenge themselves, join streaks, and earn badges, which makes them feel like they're playing a game, but actually they're learning. And if you wanted to build this type of app, a learning game, you would pretty much just need a few different collections, like users with XP, so that as users are going through your content and learning, they actually gain XP, which are experience points in games, and collecting that to increase their status inside of your application. Then you would need a collection to store all your content, a collection to manage streaks of your users, a collection where you can host challenges, and a collection for badges so that users can earn accolades as they go through and consume more content. These are fantastic businesses to build in the first place. You can give people freemium premium access where they can learn a little bit for free and then charge a monthly subscription or an annual subscription using RevenueCat. Or you can partner up with existing businesses who have content and want to create a learning game for their business, like a school, a small studio, a tutoring company. There are a lot of small businesses who would be interested in white labeling this type of software. So if you're able to create the structure of one of these apps, you could absolutely white label it to business of all shapes and sizes, starting at $5,000 or more per year. This would be a fantastic business to start. The second type of game that you could build are contest games. Contest games are games where you take submissions from your users and you use it to run a contest. Think like a sweepstakes or a giveaway. These businesses are a little tricky to navigate because of some legalities and restrictions, but if you're able to navigate those, they can be fantastic businesses and great apps to build. One contest game that I built, it wasn't in Flutter Flow, but you could absolutely build something like this with Flutter Flow, is PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the #1 daily fantasy sports app in the United States, and I actually built this app. I was the first mobile app developer on the team, and I set the whole foundation for all of this. It's really easy to play. You pick 2 players, go over and under, and you can win some money. They're doing 600,000 downloads a year, and there's absolutely a huge market of other games just like this that you could build. A more practical game that I think is a little bit easier to navigate the restrictions of is Trivia. Trivia is an awesome game because it's kind of like learning, except you can actually win prizes, you can earn points, you can play with other people, you can pretty much squad up, maybe you can create your own trivia rooms. This is absolutely a game that you could build in Flutter Flow because it's 2D, because there's not any like crazy 3D rendering or animations, and it's also very content driven. And that makes it a great use of a database like Firestore, where you can store giant blobs of JSON data and quickly read and write it. So that makes trivia a fantastic game to build. And if you were to build a trivia game, you would also need users with XP so that you can keep track of how much people are playing with your app. For example, something like PrizePicks, if you were to build a points-based contest game, you would need to keep track of users and how many points they have. Maybe you're going to give them points every week to redeem and play games with. If that's you, then you absolutely will need XP. You probably want an object to keep track of all your contests, right? So say you are building an app that keeps track of predictions for the elections or predictions for the Super Bowl. You'd want to create a collection that's just storing each one of those contests. And then of course, when a user submits an entry to your contest, you're going to want a collection to keep track of the contest entry submission. This type of game actually comes with a great business model. Number one is offline, where you could actually run the contest on the app, but then facilitate the awards or the payouts of the contest offline so that you can navigate any legalities or hurdles. You could even go freemium premium, where you charge people to get access to other types of contests. Sponsorships are also a great model. If you were able to build a very niche contest, you can actually white label these contests to other organizations who want an app to run the contest. That's also one way to navigate the legality. We actually have one of our builders inside the Dreams into Apps Accelerator who's doing exactly this, and we're super excited for them because it's a very niche audience that they're building a contest for, and they've already navigated all the legalities of it. So super stoked on that, and it kind of ties into white label too. Say you were able to build like a bingo app and deploy it for a local senior home. Believe it or not, senior homes are great because senior homes actually teach their people inside the senior homes about technology, how to use their phones, and they're always looking for ways to keep their seniors engaged. So you can actually partner up with the local senior home, and there's plenty of them in every town. And you could actually be like, hey, I want to build you a bingo app. Would you white label it from me for $100 a month or $200 a month? You can go sign up 10 or 15 senior homes, and you have a full-time $100,000 plus income building apps for senior homes. I just gave you a free business idea, and that's totally cool if you want to go run with it. If you're interested in building any of the apps that I'm talking about, or if you already have your own app idea, make sure you use the link in the description. Check out our free Discord community and or book a call with a member of our discovery team. They just want to tell you about the programs that we have at Ambitious Labs for beginner app builders and serious startup founders. So if you're just trying to build an app to get your feet wet, we have a program for you called the Academy. Or if you're a serious startup founder and you want to create a full-time income building apps, you should definitely check out our accelerator using the link below. All right, here's another game type that absolutely excites me because of how viral these can go. Challenges and scavenger hunts. Okay, one really popular challenge in the personal health space is 75 Hard. 75 Hard has its own app. I'm not sure if they built it, whoever came up with 75 Hard, or if an indie app maker just like you built it and went viral off the back of it. They're doing $160,000 of revenue every single month, and it's a social media powered app. So I bet they're not even spending money on paid ads. They just know of a challenge that's really unique to a specific niche of people. They built an app to help you track it, and it's crushing. It's doing like $1 million+ a year. It helps you keep track of your 75 Hard tasks, view your progress, save your progress in notes. I absolutely think that this is a perfect type of app to be building with Flutter Flow. I'm actually thinking about building my own challenge app for a specific group of people, but challenge apps are sweet because if you build the app and then you hire a team or you recruit people who know how to go viral, and there's so many of these like young TikTok creators out there who can consistently go viral, you'll absolutely crush it. So if I was somebody that's trying to build a viral app and these apps can be sold for a ton of money, I would come up with a challenge or find a social media creator who has built their own challenge, build the app for that challenge, and then go approach that social media creator and say, yo, I built an app for your challenge. You already have the audience. I have the app. Let's partner up. This is an absolute money printing machine, and I totally would do it if I were you and I was trying to build a challenge app. Another type of app that is sweet are scavenger hunts. We have to remember that people love interacting outside. There's a whole group of people out there who love nature, and townships and tourist places are absolutely struggling to attract people. So if you can build an app for like your town or a local town where you can attract people and people could come and complete a scavenger hunt. Like I know I grew up in a small town and there's so many little things that only I know because I've been in that town for 20 years. I could put together a scavenger hunt and go sell it to my local town and say, hey town, I built a sick scavenger hunt for you guys. I'll charge you $5,000 a year to run the scavenger hunt. It'll be your app. We'll put the town on the app and you can use it to attract new people to come to the town. This is an absolute money printing machine. We have a couple people doing this inside the Ambitious Labs Accelerator, and we have a clear path to building a business out of this. So yeah, challenges and scavenger hunts get me super excited. And the collections you would need are, users with progress tracking, absolutely keeping track of the challenges, the progress of the challenge, a big group chat so that you can keep people engaged and talking about, their challenge or their scavenger hunt. You obviously need to keep track of notifications to keep people moving, keep track of their streaks, and then you would need posts for the community in case like I was in the town and I wanted to send a message to somebody else who was in the town, or I needed some community support. If I was doing the 75 hard challenge, I'd want a way to talk to other people, okay? All these have really straightforward business models. If you're building a challenge app, you can bring people in for free, let them start the challenge for free, and if they want to keep going, you have them subscribe to premium. These are awesome for like habit tracking or like addiction quitting apps. I've seen this used as well, where like people can go viral with like addiction quitting, such as like screen time and other things. And you could totally employ the same type of strategy, charge $99 per year. Sponsorships are great too. Like you could help a brand come up with a challenge, use that brand to go viral like I was talking about, and just have them sponsor the app and pay you for it. White labels are great too. Like what if you built an app for a local bike shop that they could use to give to their community of bikers, because every bike shop has a huge email list. You could sell the bike store an app that's like, this app keeps bikers accountable for completing 100 miles a year. And the bike store would be stoked because now more people will ride their bikes, more people will come back in for maintenance, and they have a really cool piece of technology that they can use for marketing. So very straightforward to white label this product as well. All right, and last but not least, let's talk about the games that you cannot build with Flutter Flow and most no-code tools. Unfortunately, you can't build 3D games. Flutter Flow doesn't support 3D rendering, and there are no easy-to-use SDKs or game development kits that integrate seamlessly with Flutter Flow. If you, however, export the code out of Flutter Flow, I'm sure there are game development kits out there that can integrate with Flutter. It will just cost a lot of money, a lot of time. You might have to find a specialist, and this is something that a professional software engineer would need to navigate. However, if you're absolutely sure that you want to build a 3D game, you should go study the Unreal Game Engine or Unity. Both have mobile development frameworks and will be great for helping you develop a 3D game. Okay, and physics-based games are also tough to build with Flutter Flow. You don't really need a game development framework like Unity to build a game like Flappy Bird, but you do need more control over specific UI elements. But I did recently come across this tutorial from Flutter Flow about how to build endless runner games. So it's like players and obstacle movement, and it does teach you how to integrate like physics-based UI interactions. So I'm sure if you can get this far with Flutter Flow, you can build out pretty much the foundation of any game, and then at that point you can just export the code and learn a bit of Flutter to increase the complexity of your game. So it does look like Flutter Flow is ahead of the game here. Not sure how scalable this is, but it looks like it's possible. And last but not least, you absolutely do not want to build an RPG or an open world game like Clash of Clans on a no-code tool. You're also going to need a code level language to be able to interact so granularly with the UI. Awesome, so I hope I was able to answer a lot of your questions. If you know me, you know I live and breathe apps. And if you're interested in working with our team at Ambitious Labs to help us turn your dreams into apps, head over to our website to learn more about all the programs that we're running at Ambitious Labs. We have 2 different programs right now. One is for serious startup founders who absolutely want to launch their app, go raise VC money, and make a full-time career out of one specific app idea. And then we also have the Academy, which is perfect for beginner builders who aren't super serious about one idea, but still want to master our proven methodology for consistently launching profitable app businesses. If you have any questions, feel free to join our free Discord server. The link is in the description. My name is Alim from Ambitious Labs. I'll talk to you all later.